Hello and welcome back to my mapping series, part 3 it should be now. So, what we will do today is some basic terrain editing. Before we do that though, some stuff to make that a bit more pleasant. First of all, I want to copy over some, I think I'm going to use Bastonio, that's a nice snow map. I'm just going to copy over the sky.con to Operation Mars. Obviously we're going to make our own later. Where is it? Down here. Just do that, and I'm also going to copy over no wait, not the light maps obviously. Where are the light map settings again? Object light and terrain light. Let's copy that over as well and actually make some basic light maps. Obviously these will be overwritten at some point, but this is so, especially here we go, and this is so it looks a bit nicer in the editor and we can see the terrain outlines a bit better. Anyway, gonna start the editor now. Okay, so well, it looks a bit more snowy now, although also a bit more washed out, so maybe that was so great. But what we will do now is compile the light maps. We will do trace terrain, primary, and keep it on medium, and hope it will work. I will not film that, because it will take a while. Alright, so, as you can see, it's now a little bit easier to actually see the terrain when you're in detailed texture mode. Although, as I said earlier, it's not that important to, or you don't usually go into that all that much. Also, I'm not in detailed texture mode right now. Now I'm in detailed texture mode. Okay, so a bit easier to see. These artifacts here are caused by the low light mapping quality, so don't worry about that too much. Alright. What do we do next? I would say we will add roads. So let's go to the road tool and make a new road template, which you probably shouldn't do because you can't add stuff to FH2, whereas I kind of can. How do you add roads again? Maybe I can't actually. Oh yeah, create new template. Okay, gonna name that template just op Mars main for the big main road, and then I will later make one called op Mars path or something like that. Where do we have it? Huh? Oh yeah, it defaults to down here, but when we restart the editor it will be up there. Then primary texture layer, and here we go. I might make a completely new one later, but for now I might use this just this FH snow road. That's actually pretty close to what I need, so maybe I'm not gonna make a new texture. I might actually make another one of those as well with the footprints as well, but obviously not for the main road. We have quite a few snow roads. I've never actually snow road asphalt. Yeah, well, not asphalt. I mean, there's probably not even asphalt there today. But okay, we're just gonna make the normal snow road as a texture. We won't mirror it. And then as a secondary texture layer, I usually just do the asphalt thing down here. Where is it? Tarmac or whatever it's called. Okay. So what we will do then is set the width to really wide, let's say 40 meters. Material, what could we make a snow road? Okay, snow. So we have this new layer or this new road tile over there now. So now we need to know where do we place that. For that we go into hemi-map mode. And what the fuck's that? Oh, wait, what? I must have overwritten, okay, this is the Bastogne hemi map. Okay. not exactly as planned. A second, need to deal with that one. Okay, so here's the culprit. I just copied over the stylecon from Bastogne, and that goes to the Bastogne ground hemi. Let's change that to Operation Mars. Not Operation Earth, Operation Mars. Okay. Is there anything else I should probably check while I'm at it? The rest seems fine for now as a placeholder. So, yeah, let's go back into the editor. And we are back. Okay, that's more like it. So here we have the main road. Going back to the road. Select the road template that we want to use. Since I restarted the editor, it is now in the proper place as well, I hope. Op Mars main, here we go. Alrighty. So it's set to 14, which is obviously way too wide. Might actually make it wider as well, we will see. Create new spline, right click, then add control point, and then we will just roughly follow the outline we have made during the planning stage. So this is just coloring in by the number, so to speak. So over here, oh yeah, we're coming from that direction. For a second I was a bit confused. So here we will enter the probable playing area. Oh, that doesn't look good. What happened there? Sometimes you have to do a bit. You can do that, by the way, with backspace. You can delete those. For the longest time, I actually didn't know that. What the fuck? Yes. Okay. Okay. It's not that important actually, but I try to add as a little in terms of actual bugs as possible. So over here it's outside of the playing area, so it's not that important. Here we go. Going down here. Down here. And one last one here, why not? Okay, connect the road, call it main 1. Well, there will be only one main road. Usually the maps are a bit more complex in terms of roads. So, and I will actually, let's see. I will actually make this a bit wider. You will see later why. Oh wait, I was already here, one sec. Oh, main. Let's actually go to 17, I like that number. Okay, so what we will do now is disconnect this from the let's do it properly. Disconnect this from the height map for now. If you move one of these, you can disconnect it like that, and we will make it really, really high. Well, not like amazingly high, but we will really move it above the height map. As I said, it will all make sense when I'm done. So here it's getting made even higher. Okay, I think I will speed up starting from here. And we are back. Alright. So now it's floating in the air. Job done. No, of course not quite. What we will do next is go to the grid with texture mode, and you can see it floating. Now we're going to do apply spline. Boom. As you can see, now the actual height map conforms to how the road is going. So what we will do next is go back to the road template. Where do we have it? I should have named it something different, and we will make this a lot smaller, 12. Then what we will do is the same thing we did before, except, oh, this is nice, except this time we will lower it down. And I'm gonna start over here, lower it into the ground. And again, I'm gonna speed up. And back we are. Okay. And now, you probably guessed it, we will apply Spline again. And as you can see now, it's like snow was actually accumulated or pushed away to create this road. Obviously way too sharp, we will smooth that out in the next step, but this way it's easier for me. So the next step obviously is smoothing out the areas around, or these, what do you want to call them, these mounds of snow around the roads that the Germans probably created here. So in order to do that, we go to the terrain editor, select the smoothing tool, and then we will do it with that. Make it relatively small, I'm gonna say 3. Relatively strong though, okay. And then I always start outside of the map, because if I fuck it up here, who cares, nobody's gonna see it. And then I can try out how long I have to press down to get the desired effect. I think it needs a bit stronger. And then we're just gonna do it like this along the road here. I'm trying to leave the actual terrain on the road relatively untouched by this. And there can, it doesn't need to be completely smooth. In fact, that's basically impossible considering how low res height maps are in Battlefield 2. But so this stuff here is fine. We can put it a bit down, and later with a proper texture it will look decent, I think. We will also put like bushes that look out of there, so it looks really like accumulated snow around the road here. All right, gonna. You know what I'm going to say. I'm going to speed up again. Okay, so I did one side of it. What we can do now, because it's getting kind of boring, what we can do now is go back here. Wait, where would be the place between the two German positions? Over here. Okay. Go back to detail, texture mode, soldier. Now the road, I will still make it a bit less wide, but as you can see here, that's actually a nice terrain feature for gameplay as well. Go in here, and you have a nice kind of position, and it already looks pretty neat. Now obviously there will be, I think I talked about that in the last video, there also will be a special texture that goes here of disturbed kind of piled up snow to really sell this effect here. Probably also with a special, what's it called? With a special undergrowth to really make it look a bit 3D as well. Of course on this side this will still be smoothed out a bit. And yeah, I hope that will look really cool. And also pretty unique compared to other winter maps that we have. Anyway, back to work. Speeding it up again. Okay, fucking finally. Okay, back to heavy map mode for now. And back to the actual playable area. And here we go, the fruits of our labor so far. As I said, I will make the road a bit more narrow again. But yeah, I mean, this here, 1 second, is the direction the Russian attack will be coming from, right? Yeah. So obviously there will be a destroyed village here. It's important to run around on your map often. It really helps you visualize things. Actually, maybe that's just me, who knows. But yeah, and this is where you have to defend, this direction. And you can already imagine just using this to get from one position to the other, you know, the road. Then maybe lying down on one of the snow drifts and sniping at the enemy. There will be, of course, a cover here, so from there they will be shooting back. Gonna be fun. Alright, let's go back to the road. Road templates. Look for it again, and here we have Orb Mass Main, and I think with 9 meters it should look fine. Let's check it out from the ground, but yeah, this looks like a realistic width for the actual road, and here we have the piled up snow. And the whole thing only took like, I don't know, like 50 minutes, of course for one road. Now we have to add a lot of paths. Now these paths will be a tad different, in that I probably won't do the same technique exactly. Instead I will just make them wide first as before, but I will just sink them into the ground. So I don't, because for these smaller roads I don't think you need to have these pile-ups here. That's probably a bit too much. Where's this area? Set out of bounds. Oh no, that's actually where the... oh, that's cool. 1 second. Yeah, as you can see, I'm checking out map a lot just to orient myself at this early stage already and to see where we have some possibility for interesting areas and so on. But yeah, this is where the flag will be, so that's cool. I can already imagine... 1 sec. There's the OOB area. Let's go into normal mode. I can already imagine this here being like a flanking route where the Russians can sneak through. Actually, I might edit the OOB area so that this is inside, so you can sneak through here. There will be lots of vegetation here, little shrubs and so on, and then you can sneak into the flag zone. Yeah, that's gonna be so cool. Okay, looking forward to that, but first I'm afraid we will have to do more boring road repair. So, we need another road. Create new template, Orb Mars Path. And that will be for the small type of road. Width 10, let's put it to 8. That's already way too big for a small kind of footpath in the snow. Yeah, that's FH Path Snow, perfect. And then this one, nope, wrong one. 1 second, same as before. This is not to be mirrored, obviously. Okay. So, back to the hemi map. Big road we have, and then we will add these small ones here. These are the roads that the Russians will use to advance on the Germans. There are little footpaths here even today that are, they are not even like field paths or anything. So we will have those as well. Let's create the first one here. This could be a nice forward defense position. Yeah, good enough. Okay, connect, and we're gonna call it path 1. And here we go. Now we're gonna sink it into the ground. Again, boom, disconnects it. Deeper. Here we go. This too. I mean, it's not gonna be that deep inside there, but a little bit. And this time, as I said, we won't erase it first, so there won't be these big, it just will look like it's, there's a bit less snow there, and that's why there's a path there and you can more easily move. So it's not going to be a big road with snow piles on both sides. Alright. Then, the fun part, apply spline, boom. Then take the road texture, probably put it down to like 5. Here we go, and we have our path, and then we have to smooth this stuff out. And again, I will speed it up from here, because you know this part. Okay, the first path is done. It could actually be even a little bit more, what's it called? Oh, wrong direction. Could actually be a little bit more narrow. And again. I think that will look quite cool. So yeah, make it more narrow again. Road templates, still here, yeah, path, and put it to 4. Alright, so pretty narrow path here, leading of course towards the main road network here. So, I'm gonna do the rest for all the other paths off camera now. So, see you later, I guess. Alright, so I did what I said I would. And, oops, wrong one. Let's just check it out. I now have the path network set up here. All slightly sunk into the ground, which is good for gameplay and for the graphics as well. So, what will I do next? So, due to the world machine created erosion stuff here, I can also work with that, and what I want to do is there in the area where it's pretty thick, like here, I want to lower the height map and kind of create little depressions, not for these really fine ones, but for example along here and here I want to create these depressions basically by hand tracing along them. So that's my next plan here. Just go to the terrain editor, normal modify. 3 is good, but we need to pull down the what's it called? We need to pull down the intensity quite a bit. And yeah, we will have to see over here, these go through like build-up areas. So in the build-up area I don't want to change them because they will probably get smoothed out anyway. But where it leads to the build-up area, and this is basically what I want to achieve here, these little depressions, so you can get some cover. It's best to work as much as possible with the height map when it comes to creating cover. I mean, obviously static placement also kind of plays into that for obvious reasons, but it's always good to make the height map as complex and cover filled as possible. In the past I often kind of did that wrong, especially if you look at maps like Dukla Pass. Sometimes there was a little bit too little variation in the height maps, which makes it hard for infantry to maneuver around the map. Anyway, let's stop talking and make this a bit quicker. Alright, as you can see, I concentrated on those areas that are actually in the playable area, because the rest is just backdrop, so I don't need to go into like details. For example, this area, let's check it. Yeah, that's outside and there's trees all around it. No reason for me to waste my time on that. Okay, secondly, what I could have done theoretically is say go into the source file and add these directly to the height map just by darkening the height map using the same forms. That being said, I don't think that would have actually given me that much of an advantage. Let's save for a second here. Because I still would have had to smooth it out, so yeah. This was probably the best way, even though it was a little bit annoying. And alright, so we edited some basic terrain this time. Next up, we will see what we do next. Probably actually start with some static placement, at least the rough gameplay relevant statics, maybe in one of the little towns. One thing to note is that I will require custom statics for this, namely some kind of log bunker, because that's what the Germans use there. Maybe I will also show you some pictures of that next time. But yeah, that's something that I need to actually finish the map. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. As always, thanks for watching and have a nice day.